Live from Soho, New York City, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hello, everyone. It is May 13th. We're back again with another live show with our classic host, Mr. Lady Ada himself. Phil, can you tell us what's on today's show?
That's okay. I'm Classic Phil. The new Phil will come out, but it will be immediately rejected.
You're a classic host.
Yeah, and everyone will say, I want Classic Phil, and it'll just be a big deal. So we're sticking with Classic Phil.
Yes, Classic Phil. No updates on because then people will be like, oh, I just bought Classic Phil.
I stocked up on all this Classic Phil because I heard there's new Phil coming along. But now I'm back. I'm back. I lived through New Coke, Old Coke. It was a thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to me. Anyways, okay, on today's show. It did. It happened. On today's show, we've got Wearable Wednesday.
Wearable Wednesday is on the Adafruit blog. We share all of the coolest wearable things happening, and we debut a new video on the show during that segment.
Yeah. And then we got Project Workshop.
That's where we take one of your project ideas or questions, and we tackle the idea from a bunch of different angles and give you a bunch of advice and tutorials and stuff to help you make your own project.
Yeah, it's like answering your question, but then giving you something to do.
It's free consulting is what it is.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to put it. Component of the week.
It's the Arduino Gemma.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that more
I'm
later.
really happy about this. And questions and answers. You have questions, Becky has answers.
If you have any questions or projects that need workshopping, you can post them in the comments now or later or on YouTube or Instagram or the forums or Twitter or the Adafruit blog, and we'll gather them up and queue them up for a future show. And somebody who asks a question gets to win a copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by me and Tyler Cooper at the end of the show.
Okay. All that more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, so you said there was free consulting, but actually the Wearable Electronics show and all of Adafruit is supported by you, the viewers out there, and sometimes we like to give you discount codes. The code today is Flora.
Right, so it's free consulting in that I tell you my thoughts on your project, but then you can get 10% off the parts to build your project using the discount code. That's how it works around here.
Yeah. This is like it's like public television almost, but we send you electronics.
Information is free.
Yeah.
Your tote bag can be in the form of a Flora book.
A nice gift mug. Yeah.
We don't have any of that, but we have lots of electronic souvenirs. So
okay.
Information is free, and items cost money.
Wearable Wednesday. Okay.
Every week on the blog, me and Leslie and Jessica and lots of other people contribute some really cool blog posts to the Adafruit blog. So if you're not keeping up on that, go check it out now. The link is in the description of this video. This is a really cool red carpet dress featuring some lovely color-changing LED strips. Cool to see the arrangement of the LEDs in the gown.
Yeah, because it's part of like the functionality of it too. Like it looks like it's structure. It's not just decoration. It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. So looking forward to seeing more red carpet LED looks in a variety of styles, tastes, and colors.
This year, NeoPixel is in
on the red carpet. NeoPixels are also good for interactive dance performance. These are some university students built some cool proximity sensing garments that light up in different patterns using the sewable NeoPixels for a performance about intimacy and technology at their university. Leslie posted that one up.
Next up.
This is one that you sent me. This is a Nyan Cat tapestry, and I don't have the volume turned down on this video, but it does play the song. So what is like an Adafruit commercial in a frame right here. It has
nice.
the audio FX board looping the Nyan Cat song.
Okay.
And then it's embroidered with just embroidery floss, and then it has the sewable LED sequins behind. And they're wired to an Arduino board that's flashing the lights and triggering the sound with the capacitive touch. When you touch the cat, it triggers the sounds and the animations to start.
Nice.
So, and it was a wedding gift for some friends of the creators. So that's a really nice wedding gift, and it's an adorable interactive wall hanging.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, meow. And they have more information about how they made it on their site, so that's all fun.
All right.
This is Hannah Perner Wilson. It's just like the queen of DIY sensors and textile experiments. She made this. It's a fabric speaker.
Oh, did I send you a link to this?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
You also I'm 2 for 2. You would have saw this anyways, right?
Yeah, I follow Hannah's site.
All right.
I mean, it's okay when you send me links to Hannah's site because then I just go like, Hannah, but like I do read her site. We just make sure that none of her stuff falls through the cracks because it's all really, really excellent. Her site is just like this huge encyclopedia of cool sensor ideas, lots of little experiments. So this is a yogurt container and lots of holes pierced in it with just a hot needle. You heat it up with a candle and then use the conductive, this is like silver-plated copper wire in with like non-conductive textile, and then she dangled a magnet over top of it, and it's a speaker she makes lots of textile speakers, but this one has like its own resonant chamber because it's on the yogurt container.
Okay.
So there's a little video of that on the site with the sound playing too. So really cool stuff from her. Her site's just amazing. This is just, Jessica posted this. It's just some fashionable.
And I sent that to Jessica.
Fashionable robot arms.
I've been on it.
Phil is secretly the wearables expert in terms of the cultural, like when you see the stuff on the internet way faster than a lot of people do.
So do you know right now?
Laser focus.
You know right now I have 837 blog posts that I have not sent to the teams.
Oh my God, that's so many.
Yeah.
Your filter's clogged.
Yeah. No, I can't. I could send them all, but it'd be like, oh my God. So there's 837.
Are they in draft in your email or something?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, and you just like trickle them out?
Yeah.
You got to give me some more wearable posts so that I can do them before I go on vacation.
Do them like 10 at a time.
Well, they're really good. You're really, really good blogger, Phil.
No, I'm just around all the time.
I learned how to blog from you. You're a good blogger. You have lots of good techniques.
What's funny
follow through.
What's funny is I'm looking at all the blog posts that are coming up. I'm like, these are good. This is gonna be. I know what the internet's gonna look like a little bit, a few months from now.
Yeah, you have premonition because you know.
I love this one. This is great.
They're really cool.
The reactions are what
fashionable robot arms for your even weird in Japan. It's my new catchphrase.
Yeah, even in Japan it turns heads. Okay.
That's great though. Super awesome.
This is the big crazy news today.
News today is that Flora version 2 is out. Dun, 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 Flora 2. It's like previous Flora, but with more features.
Yeah. What's your favorite feature? Is it something like this?
It's definitely not the micro USB port. It's definitely the NeoPixel. There's 2 new features for Flora 2.
Where's the video?
It's there. You're on it right now. It's playing.
It is? Is it really changing?
You see so.
You see it changing?
I think it's changing. Oh, maybe it's not changing.
I don't see it changing. Oh.
That's the video.
Why isn't it changing?
Okay, well, my favorite feature, while you figure that out, I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, because the in point and the out point are the same? Can you set the in point to the beginning, hit set?
Yeah,
then, that must be it.
It must have accidentally. So let's just go back here. Because this was a big deal. We actually... There.
Oh,
okay.
there you go. Sorry about that, folks.
We were not going to let that...
No. So then there's the 2 updates to Flora version 2. Same great software, same great tutorials. Nothing is made incompatible at all. There's just an added NeoPixel, and that uses digital pin 8, which was previously inaccessible to you anyway. So it's just like a free NeoPixel, basically, same price. Yeah. And we swapped out for the micro USB port so that it's the same as Gemma 2.
Yeah.
So now all 3 wearables boards in the Adafruit wearables family have micro USB ports, and.
You had a photo of
I took a photo of some of pieces in my scrapbook today. That would be the Flora 2 prototype on the left and the Flora 2, and then a really early Gemma prototype there in the middle next to the Arduino Gemma.
Yeah.
And then
you want to
Flora 1 and Gemma 1. Yeah, I have those things on the overhead if you want. You think the overhead's good?
Yeah, the overhead's working today.
I had people try to guess and see which were the prototypes. So clearly this one is the prototype for the Flora 2, and then...
The auto lock, I think it'll lock.
So our complete family of boards now is this. This is the Arduino Gemma and the Adafruit Gemma, which are the only difference is the color and the official board support in the IDE. Here's the difference between Flora 1 and Flora 2. You can see the ports different. The 32U4 chip is in a slightly different spot.
Yeah.
And to make room for that NeoPixel, thanks to the extra room we got from the port.
It's an incremental upgrade with a couple improvements, but I think the neatest thing about it is we got so good at doing NeoPixel stuff that we may as well just toss on a NeoPixel. So it'll be on its own right now. You can do a project involving a NeoPixel, which is a big deal.
It's really cool. So I think that makes it easy for, and you could go back to maybe the lovely video of the board with the Pixel. I think a lot of projects, wearable projects specifically, like you need to test stuff before you permanently embed it, and you can't just like unplug and plug really easily, except for with alligator clips, it's not that easy. And so the Pixel makes it really easy to help debug your wearables projects. There's a lot more debugging that happens with like weird conductive thread connections and stuff. And so if you can tell, for beginners especially, if you can tell that your NeoPixel code is working and you're trying to debug a single sensor, that simplifies things than having like alligator clips connected to a NeoPixel and not knowing if your color changes are happening because you don't know like where your connection error is. So it just makes it like easier to test your NeoPixel code before you go out and build your whole project on that code.
Yeah. It also reminds me of, you might prototype something on an Arduino or a Flora, and then you'll eventually maybe go to a Gemma. But this even makes it, you can always be in like a wearable product line. You can do everything on a Flora, do everything you want, and then migrate to a Gemma if needed. So anyways, I think it's a big deal. It's cool. I like that we're continuing to push the
and it's the same price because we got really good at making these things, so they're fast and our yield is good, so we're able to add that extra component at no additional cost to you. So enjoy your new Flora version 2s.
All right. And so you have a video this week.
Yeah, this is video about wearables packs. It sets itself up, so why don't we just watch the video. Some Adafruit wearables packs are designed to help you build a specific project, like these NeoPixel goggles or LED pump collar. But most of our Adafruit wearables packs are designed to help bring your own project ideas to life, or to give Flora and Gemma as a gift, all at a great discount. But which pack is right for you? Let's figure it out together. Flora and Gemma let you use sensors to make color-changing light patterns. We do have another video devoted to choosing between Flora and Gemma. TLDR, Gemma is lower cost, but it's also limited when it comes to things like serial debugging, making Flora easier for beginners to learn. The most complete Flora pack is built around the Getting Started with Flora book and comes with everything you need to prototype and build multiple simple and complex projects. The Flora GPS Starter Kit is similar, but more specialized towards a location detecting project. The Flora Sensor Pack comes with a few sophisticated sensors, as well as conductive fabric and snaps, good for making cap touch buttons and digital switches. And there's also some NeoPixels for visualizing that data. The Flora Budget Pack is what it sounds like, the most wallet-friendly way to get a basic Flora project off the ground. Moving on to Gemma, we have 3 straightforward options. Simple white lighting with the Sequin Pack, addressable NeoPixel lighting with the Starter Pack, and simple sounds with the Talking Toy Guts Sound Pack. I hope that's helpful in your pack selection quest. If you still have questions about what parts are right for your project, post up in the Adafruit forums, where we'd be more than happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
And we're back. Okay.
I hope that clarifies a few things for you guys.
Yes.
We're going to rerun that video around holiday time when everybody's shopping for gifts, because the packs make really, really great gifts, and there's lots of tutorials for everything, but it can be a little bit daunting to understand like what parts you need for to get a project up off the ground from if you don't have anything to start out with. This slide here is just my favorite kit, which is the Getting Started with Flora book pack.
Yeah.
That's, I would say, the best gift. If I were to receive a gift from the Adafruit shop, this would be my favorite gift.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, I agree with that.
You can get 10% off any of the packs in the store using code FLORA.
There might be another new product,
and you'll also agree.
I'll take it back. I'll be like, no,
do you remember,
I've changed
were
it.
You, I think you were still working at Make in 2010, the summer of 2010, maybe not. I don't know. When I broke my knee and I came home from the hospital and I was emailing everyone on the list and said like, hey guys, I'm back from my X-rays, but like, could somebody copy edit my post today because I'm on morphine and everything I'm blogging is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I think it was.
Guys, I'm going to be able to do my posts, but...
Yeah, I think I was part-time because Lamore asked me to help with Adafruit.
But I think you were still on the list at that point.
I was still doing stuff, yeah.
Anyway, that's like you. Every product is your favorite product.
Yeah, until the next one.
Until the next one comes along.
Yeah. All right, so, I skipped a little bit, but it's Project Workshop time.
Okay, we're in Project Workshop.
Yeah, I already showed that slide.
Oh, okay, I see, okay. I missed it. I was telling the story.
No, I was going to do it again.
Okay.
So this is from L. Wallace, absolute beginner using conductive fabric for dance costume. Sorry, this is a silly question, I'm a total newbie. I'm making a costume for a dance routine and I'd like to have LEDs on the front of the shirt. I'd also like to be able to turn them on with my hands at very specific points in the routine. I was thinking conductive fabric might be good for this since it's flexible. I prefer not to have switches, however, I'm not tech savvy. And in this way, I have no clue if simply wearing this shirt and having conductive fabric touch the skin on my chest would activate the LEDs, or if they would indeed remain off until I touch the fabric with my hands. If any kind of skin being in contact with conductive fabric would activate the LEDs and not just hands, I'd love recommendations or suggestions for other things I might use to get the effect I want to control with only my hands. Can someone clarify? Thanks so much.
Excellent
Becky,
post in the forums.
You must.
Project Workshop. I treat these like I treat my students' projects when they ask me these questions.
So go.
So first of all, you should definitely play around with conductive fabric. There's ways to insulate it from your skin. So yes, to clarify your actual question, capacitive touch sensing is measuring like the amount of mass of water, basically, or moist object that's near the sensor, because that body of water disrupts the electromagnetic fields around the sensor. So yes, the skin of your chest would act just like your hand. So it can't touch your chest if you want to activate it with your hands. But you can insulate it from your chest with other fabric or like,
Yeah.
You can put it in a part of the fabric that hangs away from your body, and you can use capacitive touch sensing and something like Flora with the tutorial we've got there. That's one thing you can do. The next thing is a product for capacitive touch sensing we have that I think you might like to look at. It's the momentary cap touch breakout. So this thing, you can touch it just on the surface of the PCB, and that's the sensor. You can also connect an external sensor to one of the pins and have that be conductive fabric that you're triggering with instead of this little pad. But this you could use and mount it on your chest, and depending on the way it's facing and the sensitivity you set on the board, you should be able to trigger it with just your hand. And we have tutorials for working with all of the different capacitive touch breakouts we have in the store.
Okay.
If capacitive touch just isn't doing it for you, we do have a tutorial for costume triggers and actuators for like Halloween and dance, and it covers non-capacitive touch sensings or non-capacitive sensing stuff like motion sensors, different kinds of switches. Like maybe you don't want a button switch, but what about like a wire hair switch or something that you can trigger more naturally?
Okay. That might work.
And in dance costumes, you can hide a lot of stuff. So, so that's got some cool advice and different kind of components that maybe you've never seen before. So I would head over to that tutorial too. And then, and that talks about vibration switches. So we have 3 different strengths, and they look like that on the inside. They're triggered by shaking. So the center pole, when the center pole touches the spring, is when it's activated, and basically the springs are of 3 different hardness of wires. So the slow vibration switch, you have to flick it like really hard to get it to trigger. So you could have that somewhere in your garment, and you could flick it really hard. It depends on, like, I don't know what dance piece you're working on, so if you can't be making any sudden movements because your hands are a very important part of the piece, then I don't know. But that's one option that I find it's a pretty cool thing that you can have it in, like, in your hat, and you, like, flick your hat, and it useful. There's also 2 other ones that are triggered more easily. And then check out some other folks. If you do a search for dance on the Adafruit blog, you'll find a couple of different groups that are working in this space, and you might be able to glean some cool techniques from them. This photo's from the Brooklyn Ballet. Some folks at NYC Resistor collaborated with some Brooklyn Ballet folks on some really awesome, not only motion-activated tutus, but some, like, muscle control activated. Yeah. This guy with his pecs shirt, and when he like moved his pecs, they like lit up in different ways.
That's cool.
There's like flex sensors. Anyway, that's my advice about your project. We definitely want to see how it goes. My advice is to start out with a circuit on the table and just play around and get your bearings. As you said, you're a total newbie. Get your bearings with the hardware before you expect it to perform on a dancer, because there's a lot of complicated stuff that goes into that. But you can do it, and we have tutorials that can help you.
We have confidence in you. And here's a code that you could use to buy some of the stuff to do that project you want to do. Go Flora. All the way till 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard tonight. Everything except for gift certificates and software. Okay, component of the week. Big news.
Big news.
It's live. It's here.
It's here. You can buy it.
We make. We are the first U.S. manufacturer making Arduino with the Infinity logo branded Arduinos from Arduino.cc in the United States.
We've been working on Arduino Gemma for a long time now, almost a whole year.
Yeah, this is like back and forth.
And it's a great product. Tiny little, a lot of paperwork. Tiny little bite-sized sewable microcontroller, supported officially in the Arduino IDE in 1.6.4 and later versions. And it's got everything you know and love about Gemma, with everything you know and love about teal Arduino circuit boards, made right here in the Adafruit factory.
Yeah.
And so it is, the first...
we could say made in New York, but we're going to say made in USA because it's important to us, and we like that this is the first board of hopefully many Arduino things. Hopefully many.
Foreshadowing.
But it's cool.
It looks like this. It looks. I mean, it's hardware identical to the right. The USB V, what's that called again? The
USB VID PID is Arduino, so it'll show up in the IDE.
But it actually has nothing to do with, that's burned into the bootloader of the chip.
Yeah.
So the hardware is actually the same
hardware
as Adafruit Gemma.
Yeah.
And
nice
except that it comes in this nice packaging. It's got so some of the money goes to Arduino. It's supported officially in the Arduino IDE, and without any mods or extra installs, and it was really fun collaboration to work on, and I'm really happy. I know that, like, we wanted Flora, you know, like we want everything to be really easy to use for beginners.
It's getting easier. 164, it does make everything easier. You you cut and paste a URL, and you get all of our boards anyways.
Right, and the library installs. Oh.
Yeah, I made that video, and I was like, scroll. And what's cool is it's getting easier to do workshops for large groups of people to learn electronics. And so this is just one step closer. And the great thing is we support Arduino.cc, and they get money every time you buy an Arduino Gemma. So, hooray.
Yay, and it's real. You've been hearing about it for a long time, but now it's real, and you can buy one, and you can get 10% off even. Code Flora. Can you get 10% off of Flora? Yes.
Yeah, you can. Okay, questions and answer time.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Somebody will win a book. Somebody who asked a question today, that's answered today. You ask questions, I answer them like the next week. So ask questions now, win later.
Yep. Okay, this is from the Genocidal Panda. Is it possible to get the Flora to cycle a rainbow on only the active lights while being sound reactive? Would something like that be too much for the Flora to process? Tried adding an extra argument and cramming the color cycling into the part where the finding the height, verified fine and compiled, but didn't quite work.
Okay, so he's talking about the code for the audio reactive hat, ViewMeter baseball hat.
Yeah. Okay.
And Phil B wrote that code, and it's quite lovely. He said, Genocidal Panda in a different comment said that he or she felt like that code was like getting a star in Mario Kart, like because it's like starts you at such a high place, and then you can kind of like futz with it from there. Yeah, I think you can do that. So because it is writing the colors of the pixels every time it does that find height, I think you're probably just not in the right part of the right for loop for updating the rainbow, because like obviously it's doing a rainbow of its own there, and it's calculating what color each LED needs to be every time it updates any pixels. So it's got to be able to increment through that rainbow cycle. He wants it like this, but you understand what he's asking, right?
I understand.
So keep tinkering. Just because it compiles doesn't mean it's going to do what you want. And I know that code is quite complicated. When I play with it, I generally takes a couple tries to get it to behave the way I expect it to based on my changes. So keep at it, keep experimenting. You can also post up in the forums with the code you're working on and how you want it to react. And folks, including Phil B, who wrote the code, can check up on it and give you advice. But good luck, and I think it is possible, what you're asking for. Okay,
this is from Geneva. I think I got it right. Can the same type of sensor be chained together to communicate over I2C, multiple Flora LSM9DSOs, accelerometer, gyro, magnometers, or do the sensors that are chained together all need to be different?
Flora can only, the I2C bus can only handle one of each address, and each sensor has the same address. So you can't have like two 9DOF sensors, but if you want two accelerometers, you could use one 9DOF and one LSM303 because they have different I2C bus addresses. It is a limitation of using the I2C sensors, yes.
Yep. Okie dokie. Next up, Becky, any word about making a GSM module yet wearable?
Well, like there's Fona, come on.
This is practically wearable.
What's wrong with Fona, guys?
Yeah, so Fona you can wear.
Except for that it's out of stock right now.
Yeah, so Fona you can wear. And
you should. Like, there's nothing smaller. I can't think of making a GSM module smaller than that, like with all the stuff on it that you need to connect it and make it a real phone.
If we were to make it round, it would add more circuit board for no good reason. So I would say start out with that. We also will have, I'll talk about it now, the Fona Shield for Arduino and Arduino compatibles is coming out.
That's awesome.
Maybe today or tomorrow.
Cool.
So it's a shield.
Okay.
And then we have some other GSM and cellular products coming out soon.
Yeah, so we're probably not going to make a sewable GSM module. I think that the thing is when we make things for like hobbyist market. You like take slices out of the market when you talk about like people who want to make GSM projects, people who want to make sewing projects, and like their overlap is probably not big enough to say that like the sewing people can't just use the regular phone.
Yeah, well, we'll check it out. Like if we see a ton of projects with this. Like,
sure, but I mean like
we'll consider it.
It's not on my top suggestion list for like when Phil and I have meetings about what products I would like to see.
The biggest problem with any type of cellular stuff we solved yesterday, the day before.
I believe I have a slide in there about that.
Yeah. So here's the good news. There's no bad news, so it's all good news.
Great.
So the problem is you need to get a SIM card.
Right.
And normally you'd have to like go to like T-Mobile and you'd have to like sign a contract. It'd be really difficult and it's complicated. You have to go to the store, or maybe you can try to get one pre-activated. It's always a mess. Always a mess, always a mess. You don't know what you're charged for.
I don't think...
If you don't use it, they cut it off after a month. all these things.
Right,
all these
and
portable things.
it's probably easier to just like get a burner from Best Buy and pull the SIM card out of it. But
Yeah,
even then, like,
it doesn't work the same way.
They're,
Yeah,
they're not.
because those aren't SIM card based.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. This problem.
Some of them are.
So Ting is a new carrier. So they're a virtual carrier. There's actually these
Yeah.
neat rules in the US. So you can become a virtual carrier. So they're on top of many different networks, and they have GSM networks. And so Ting is a GSM provider, and they have a like Bill of Rights contract, and like you can actually get a hold of a real human. They have a dashboard. So we looked around. This took about a year. Cory Doctorow introduced us to them. That's why it's good.
Yeah. I remember there was difficulty with like the SIM card carriers when we're looking into becoming an official like
they don't want to talk to us.
Carrier or whatever.
They
want us to take responsibility for everyone's data too. Like
basically they're just like you're not going to have 1 billion devices. We don't want to talk to you.
Right.
So Ting has already have these agreements with the carriers, and so we're set. So we sell these actually on Adafruit right now. We have these right now. So all the cellular needs that you ever couldn't do before, you can have.
So if you're asking for a wearable GSM module, use a phone on one of these Ting, what are they called again? Cards.
Yeah.
SIM cards.
Yeah. Next up. Okay, this one is Chance Daniels. For my first project, I want to make a jacket for riding my bicycle with some neopixels that blink faster and flash slower as I brake. Is the Flora brake light backpack a good jumping off point for building it? Keep in mind I don't want turn signals, so Flora accelerometer, LiPo battery, neopixels. Love to show inspire me every week. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think that this project is the best jumping off point for your project. So the Flora brake light backpack was designed to detect slowing down on a motorcycle, and it was actually really difficult to get the signal to noise ratio into a reasonable factor on that project. The accelerometer, and we knew that for a bicycle it's going to be even less effective because of like the bumping up and down and stuff. So I would say that your best bet is actually GPS. And so I would say start with the Flora GPS tutorial and use your GPS data to, like, it has your position updated how many times, like 60 times a second or something, and it can give you your velocity. And
yeah.
I would use that as a more reliable, especially if you're going to be outside on your bicycle, you're not going to have a problem with GPS signal. If you don't want to use the Flora GPS, it is a little on the pricey side. You could use the new, well, it's the same price actually, similar price. The next slide is the new Flora Bluefruit module, and pipe the data from your phone's GPS straight to your Flora circuit on your backpack, which would be très chic and very fun.
So this question wasn't asked, but would you guys ever do a Bluetooth LE for wearables? We did. And we're going to be talking about that tonight on Ask an Engineer. It's this one.
We covered it all last week in great detail on the show with Colin hosting, and he went into a lot of detail about the app that was our tool of the week.
So
and he talked about the Bluefruit LE Connect app for iOS and Android for using with for this and the other Bluefruit modules in the shop. So that's all really cool. If you want to learn more about it, you can watch last week's show, and you can go to the product page, and the tutorial's up now, and you can stick around later to watch it on Ask an Engineer.
Yeah, we're gonna have an Ask an Engineer.
So don't use the accelerometer to detect braking on a bicycle. We were only even able to get like a readable value because we were doing it for a motorcycle that does decelerate a lot. Like goes from a much higher velocity. So use a GPS.
Okay. All right, Bex, it's time to give away this book.
Okay. One of you, including the Project Workshop question asker, will win the book. It's in the sticky burn hat. the dedicated giveaway sticky burn hat. Genocidal Panda, you won. Your username, not my favorite, but please email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize. This week it is the book, Getting Started with Adafruit Flora, by me and Tyler Cooper. And hopefully that'll help you with your programming skills for your rad rainbow VU meter hat.
Okay, if you didn't win, it's okay. You can use the code Flora all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. You'll have that discount. Do you want to show this?
Yeah, it's a coming soon, yeah.
Yeah, you got a coming soon you want
We had
to
a video shoot last night, me and Andrew Baker, and it's for an upcoming project that you'll probably see in 2 weeks. It's this flexible video light. I know it's a little meta. We had a video shoot about a video light. And it was really funny when Andrew came in and we were like, we need to shoot like outside sometime. And he's like, oh man, I should have brought my portable light with me. And I said, you're joking, right? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, did you read the script? And he's like, Yeah, but that's the.
You need a light for the portable light.
So this is us in a cab last night with the 2 lights filming, and
That's cool.
It was a pretty fun time. So that's coming soon.
Yep. And then speaking of coming soon, in a few hours.
If you have a project to show off, you can come to the show and tell at 7:30. You just leave a comment on the Google Plus announcement. We'll add you to the circle. You'll be invited this week and every week to show off your projects. That's a fun big party when everyone's invited. After that is Ask an Engineer with Mrs. Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada.
Yep.
And then on Thursdays is the 3D Hangout with Noe and Pedro. Get your 3D, you get your CAD on.
Yeah. Not cat, CAD.
CAD, get your CAD on.
They have, I don't think they have a cat.
No, they have a kid.
They have a kid, not a cat. And they do CAD. They eat Kit Kat sometimes. Not Kit Kats. Kit Kats.
Kid CAD?
CAD for kids. From Autodesk.
The new segment is called Alliteration Hour.
Yeah.
With Becky and Phil. That's our new show. It's going to be on
Fridays at 1 a.m.
Freaky Fridays.
Fridays at 1 a.m. after Adult Swim.
If you aren't already, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you're notified whenever the live show is about to happen and you see all our new episodes. Go to the Learning System and learn to make something new. Point of order. There's no show next week. I'm going to be on vacation.
Okay.
At the Fat Gold show in San Francisco.
Okay, no show this week. Next week.
No show, but the opening next week is on Wednesday night. So if you're on the West Coast, it's part of the Gray Area Festival that's happening.
Okay.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and until then,
okay,
have a nice day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.